Yes, people, what is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another live stream. The daily live streams, they just keep rolling in. They just keep rolling in, people. Hope you guys are all well. Um, Hope you guys can hear me as well. Fingers crossed you guys can hear me. Um, but yeah, people, gonna talk a little bit about the Wolves game. Gonna talk a little bit about yesterday's game. Talk a little bit about football in general at the moment and where it's headed. Wanted to touch on the slot comments as well. Yo, big up Wahaha, man. Big up to Wahaha. Appreciate you being in, brother. Big up yourself. Good evening. Prophet, good evening to yourself, Wahaha. Hope you're having a good evening. I know you guys have got a big game coming up tonight as well against Newcastle United away. So, yeah, see what happens with you guys, bro. After what happened yesterday, I kind of need United to drop points. And I kind of need Chelsea and Villa, one of them to drop points too. But yeah, wanted to touch a bit about yesterday's performance against Wolves. Some comments that Slot made as well on the Premier League as a whole, where it's headed, and I wanted to touch a little bit about tonight's fixtures as well. Give you guys my predictions and that for that as well. So yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everyone. So yeah, let's just get straight into it then. I suppose Liverpool versus Wolves last night, or Wolves versus Liverpool, should I say? It doesn't get much lower than where we are at the moment. Genuinely, it doesn't get much lower. We've had a bad season all around for numerous reasons. But it doesn't get worse than losing to Wolves, bottom of the table Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are nailed on to be relegated this season. It doesn't get worse than that. It does not get worse than that. I'm telling you. You can lose to like a Bournemouth. You can lose to like I don't know who else is mid-table, Brentford. But you go away to Wolves and you lose. This is embarrassing. It's straight up embarrassing. Now I know recently Wolves have had a resurgence. I know recently they've been much improved, a lot better under their new manager. But come on, guys. With the quality we still have available, even though we were missing Florian Wirtz, which I see a lot of people saying the reason we lost is because of Wirtz being unavailable. Get out of here with that behaviour, please. Even though we were missing Wirtz, our team on paper should still be good enough with who we have available to go away to Wolves and win. I'm sorry, we should be. I don't care they've had a resurgence. Yeah, cool, they've had a resurgence and a new manager. A little too late for them, to be fair. Let's be honest. They're still going to get relegated. They're still in deep crap. But they're showing something. Either way, we should go there. You know that they're going to be up for it because of that. You weather the storm. And you show why we are Liverpool and why they are Wolves. I don't mean that in a undermining way or nothing to Wolves. Respectfully, I don't. But fucking hell, lads, how do you lose that game? Look, the lineup was pretty. I'll bring up the stats for the game because this is just absolutely woeful, people. Absolutely woeful. I'll bring up this share the screen. The Premier League is right here. Let's bring the Premier League up. Right, so as you can see, people, as you can see right here, this is the Premier League. Well, we don't want to look at that. We want to look at the Wolves game for us. So if I go here, Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. Okay, people, so looks like I lagged out then for a minute. Apologies. Hope you guys can still hear me on my end. So here's the game. Obviously, let's look at the stats then, people. Let's look at the stats. The stats don't tell the full story of the game, to be fair. You'd think that Liverpool were very dominant looking at that, but of course we know stats can be very, very misleading. So Liverpool had 15 shots to Wolverhampton Wanderers' 5. We had 4 on target to their 3, so very close there. 66% possession to us, 34% to Wolves. That's expected, to be honest. And the corners, we had a couple of corners in this game. 11 corners. So they only had 2 corners, which is mad. Felt like they had more than that, but as you can see, statistically, it looks like we dominated the game. But we watch football with our eyes, not do stats. So we know watching the game, Liverpool weren't dominant. They were not dominant at all. You know, the fact we had 15 shots is crazy because I don't remember us having that much. I don't remember us having 15 shots in the game. I know Wolves didn't have a lot, but that's Can you guys still hear me? Again. Technical difficulties, man. Looks like they've continued from yesterday into. All right, I'm hoping you guys can hear me now. Again, that wasn't nothing to do with StreamYard. That was purely my Wi-Fi, guys. I apologize. That was the Wi-Fi on my end. It just disconnected for some reason. But yeah, I'll just bring this up again. I'll just bring it up. Oh, technical difficulties, man. Technical difficulties. What a pain in the backside it can be. But yeah, as you can see, statistically, it looks like we dominate. We know that wasn't the true story. We'll look at the lineup for the game. So this was Liverpool's lineup. If I just, there we go. So you guys can see it. Big up, Wahaha. Appreciate you. Yeah, that was the Wi-Fi, but it was the Wi-Fi. But yeah, so this is Liverpool's lineup. Was Liverpool's lineup for the game yesterday. That's pretty much what I expected it to be. To be honest, I expected it to be Alisson in goal. I expected Frimpong at right back. I'm surprised the manager went with Frimpong. To be honest, I've got to hold my hands up and say I'm very surprised he went with Jeremy Frimpong in this game. I predicted it because I thought it's the sensible thing to do to play a right back in at right back. But I could easily have seen Jones starting in at right back again. I could easily have seen Szoboszlai playing there again. So the fact he went in and put Frimpong in rather than easing him back in, I got to credit the manager there. It's so much better when you actually have a right back playing in the right back position rather than just playing or shoehorning a Szoboszlai in there or Curtis Jones in there. Sounds about playing Virgil and Ibu expected. There's never going to be anything different there. The left back was Milos Kerkez. Midfield, Gravenberch and Maka. Maka had a good game against West Ham. Had a good game. Was very good in the midfield. Felt he dictated it well and scored a goal as well. A very underrated goal. So I would have started him in this game purely because I wanted to see if he could build off of the West Ham game. Up top we had Salah, Szoboszlai in the 10. Gakpo left and Ekatike up top. Yo, big up Rasta, bro. Big up to Rasta, man. Hope you're well, man. Make sure you sub to Rasta, absolute legend in the building. One of my brothers as well. Another one of the fellas with the realist. Make sure you sub. Big up, bro. Appreciate you being in. And Ekatike. Look, that's a strong lineup on paper. It's exactly what I predicted. And I'm sorry, with that lineup, you should be going away to bottom of the table, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and you should be getting 3 points. What's the excuse? Now, what is the excuse? Appreciate that, man. A big up. I hope you're well, man. You said you're good. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, man. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Glad to hear that you're doing well. Big game for you, man, tonight, bro. Big game. Newcastle away. How you feeling for that one? I know you said you wasn't too confident. But have you changed your mind potentially? But yeah, that's a strong team on paper. Look at the subs for the game. But look, when it comes to the bench, we're not too great. We know we haven't got the strongest bench. So hopefully you guys can see that there. But it might be if I zoom in a bit, maybe. Should I zoom in? So we have Gomez there. You got Chiesa, Jones, Robbo, Rio. Those are the only real subs we can make in the game, let's be honest. Everyone else is youngsters. The rest are youngsters. They're never going to play. They're never going to get a run out of the game. So, again, how do you not go away to Wolves and win with that team available? It's beyond me. It's beyond me. That's a team full of superstars right there. You know, you've got Virgil van Dijk in there. You've got Mohamed Salah in there. You've got Alisson in there. These are the proven players. And you've got the young up-and-comers like you've got Ekatike in there. You've got the youngster, yeah, what I say youngsters, you've got the likes of Kirkes in there, Frimpong in there, McAllister in there, Gravenberch. That's a team that we put together over the summer. You know what I'm saying? That's a team that we put together over the summer to dominate, and we can't even go away to Wolverhampton Wanderers and get 3 points there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yesterday was just a disaster. It was a disaster because I really thought we could build off that West Ham win. You know, I know people will say it's only West Ham, this, that, and I agree with it to an extent. It is only West Ham, but also I look at it like this: we still scored 5 goals, and we still looked relatively good. So why can we not take that momentum and go into this Wolves game with that similar momentum and that similar mindset? I don't get it. Yo, big up Night Tom Kid, brother. Big up to Night Tom Kid. Hope you are, man. Why can't we? You know what I'm saying? Even the subs who came on didn't really make an impact. Jones did nothing really. Who else came on? Robbo didn't do nothing. Chiesa didn't do much. Rio was doing flicks and that, but to be fair, Rio had an impact because he did hit the post. So I will say Rio had an impact, but other than that, the whole team was dead again. The football again was shocking to watch, let's be honest. Against West Ham, you saw exactly what we did again. We ditched slots football. We ditched this whole boring side-to-side build-up, possession-based crap. And we went back to our roots. We went back to what we know best, what is ingrained in most of our players, and that is attacking football. And that's what we did so well against West Ham. You know, we kept going. Through the whole game, we kept going. And then against Wolves, you revert back to type. I'm saying, why? Yo, big up Ramchen. I love you, and you hope you had a nice sleep. I tried my best to have a good sleep, but I was really upset with the game. I know people expect me to be ranting and that, but I don't rant, bro, when it comes to football, because when my team's not doing bad, sorry, I don't really feel anger. I feel depression. I feel hurt. I feel sadness. I'm more of those. I'm one of those type of guys, if I'm being honest with you. Gomez never scored for Liverpool, but hey, he scored a goal now, just in his own net. I don't know if the goal was even given as an own goal, to be fair. It was a deflection, but they don't always give deflections as own goals, so I'm not sure if it got given as an OG or if it was given to Andre. I believe it was for Wolves, but either way, yeah, man. It's not great. It's not great. The performance was shocking, let's be honest. The first half was very, very poor. For a neutral, if you're a neutral watching the game, it was a bad advertisement for Premier League football. You know, if you have mates or if you have people telling you Premier League football is horrible to watch, etc., if you have people saying all this, then and you watch the game like that, you'd probably say, yeah, I agree. It was just very boring. You know, Wolves clearly set up with a game plan. Sit deep, low block, make it hard for Liverpool. And that's how everyone plays against Liverpool. If you look at our results this season, I'll actually bring up our results. And I'll tell you guys exactly what I mean. Any team that plays a low block against Liverpool, genuinely, we'll go back to the beginning of the season as well, usually gets joy against us if we're being totally real. They get joy against us. So yeah, go back to the beginning of the season. Every single side that has played a low block against this Liverpool side has got joy. Palace played a low block against us at Selhurst Park. Our first loss of the season, this was as well. This was our first loss of the season. Palace play a low block. They get the 3 points against us. You know what I'm saying? Chelsea will ignore that. United at Anfield. This game pissed me off, I'll be honest. I don't usually get angry watching football, but whenever it's Manchester United home or away, Everton home or away, I have a mentality of you win the game no matter what. I don't care how you do it, just win those 2 games. We'll win those 4 games every season, no matter what, no matter how we play, no matter how good the football is, win those 4 games. I can take a loss against Arsenal. I can take a loss against Chelsea. I can take a loss against City. I can take a loss against Tottenham. I can take a loss against anyone. But when it's Manchester United home and away and Everton home and away, I'm sorry, I can't take a loss in those games. That really winds me up. But nonetheless, they played a low block at Anfield, got 3 points against us. Brentford again, played a low block against us, got 3 points against us. You seen a theme here? Palace, United, Brentford, 3 teams there, played a low block against Liverpool, got a result. You know what I'm saying? We can go even further, people. Palace game in the cup, will ignore that. Forest at home played a low block against us. Played a low block and they still managed to score 3 goals, which is mad. You know what I'm saying? You play a low block and you still score 3 goals. I remember this game vividly as well. Vividly. But again, they played defensive football, made it hard, were deep and compact, got a good result against Liverpool at Anfield as well. PSV again, that same week, played a low block, played defensively against Liverpool, got a 3 points against us. You see what I mean about the theme here with Liverpool and low blocks, especially this season. Under Klopp, look, even under Klopp, teams used to do low blocks against us, but we'd always have a way of finding a way to play against you. With Slot, it feels like he just has no way to play against the low block at all. Sunderland, low block, we managed to salvage a point out of that thanks to a Chiesa goal line clearance. You know what I'm saying? Leeds was not, Inter, and then again, Brighton, Spurs. Wolves played a low block, but we won. Leeds, again, low block, didn't win. Burnley, low block, didn't win. Bournemouth, low block, lost. See, every team that plays a low block against us, we struggle against. Wolves, low block, lost. It's a theme. Klopp, with his playing style, got 35 wins in 36 matches. Imagine 105 from 108 points right now. Our style of play is bad. It's very bad. PSV, PSV destroyed us that night. They absolutely destroyed us. I won't make excuses there. But yeah, Rampton, I agree. Klopp, with his playing style, got 35 wins in 36 matches. 1 draw, being Manchester United away. So this is what I'm saying when people say to me, when people were saying when we had that unbeaten one, where we didn't lose a game and we went, was it 12, 11 games unbeaten? This is what I'm saying when people were hyping that up. We've seen Liverpool go on 35 game winning runs. Proper Liverpool sides with the right mentality, league winning sides in 1920. We've seen Liverpool go on winning runs and actually play good football as well. So how can these same fans sit there and say we can't be negative because we've been on a good run? This season, that run that we were on, the unbeaten run, that was pathetic. That was the most misleading unbeaten run you'll ever see. It was the most misleading unbeaten run you'll ever see. Big up Dan, son, brother. Big up, man. Hope you're well. Big up to yourself. But it was very misleading because the style of football was still shocking. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Slot has to, well, the fact that he's prioritizing results over good football with the squad that he has and the talent he has available to him just shows again how tactically inept he is, in my opinion. But we've seen Liverpool go on 35 wins from 36 matches. And then we're hyping up an unbeaten one where we drew against Leeds, we drew against Fulham, we drew against Arsenal. Who else did we draw against in that one? We drew another couple of games. How Leeds away as well? No, I'm sorry, no. I'm not happy with a run like that. If that's the mentality, then bloody hell, it's crazy. Wolves is getting a little strong. I don't think they're getting strong. I think what you're seeing with Wolves is a team that are playing with nothing to lose. A team that are very well, they know they're going down, but they just want to give their fans something, show some heart and fight, go down with at least some sort of dignity, which is what they're doing. And to be fair, they got they've got a draw and 2 wins in the last 3 games, so fair play to them. But yeah, when I see Liverpool actually ball out, when I see a Klopp team that was insane like that when it came to winning matches, when I seen us do other things under Jurgen, and then people sit there and hype up a run like that, it makes me angry. It angers the fuck out of me. I can't even lie. It angers the fuck out of me. Let's look at Liverpool's last couple of games. Next couple of games, sorry. So we got Wolves in the FA Cup again on Friday. Wolves in the FA Cup again on Friday. So we go away from home. Let's see if we can get revenge there. I think they'll go strong. If we go weaker, we'll probably end up losing. And we got the Galatasaray leg next week. The first leg of the Galatasaray game. Going to be interesting. Obviously, we know what happened last time we went there. We got Spurs after that. So Galatasaray. And then we got Tottenham. So Liverpool versus Tottenham in between there. Then we got Galatasaray at home. So look, we've got to go strong in all these games. There's no way we can rotate anywhere. There genuinely isn't. After Galatasaray, we played Brighton away, Fulham at home. Those are hard games. Everton away, the first derby game. The first derby game at Dickinson, I think that's their ground, what their ground's called. That first derby game is going to be tough because it's their first one in that new ground, and God well, they're going to be up for it. We should have beat them at Goodison last year in the final derby at Goodison, but the refs made sure they didn't lose that. Shock. We know for this one, there's probably going to be some fuckery when it comes to VAR decisions. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get 3 points here. Palace at home after that. Again, Palace are a bogey team for Liverpool. They've been a bogey team for us for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So that could be tough. After Palace, here's what has me shitting myself. These are Liverpool's last 4 games of the season, people. Let's agree sometimes the manager may be good, but not good enough for the Premier League start. And Amorim, I agree. I think Amorim, well, I have my opinion on Amorim, but I don't think United fans will like it, to be fair. I think, because I remember when we were linked with Ruben Amorim, when Klopp announced he was leaving Liverpool, we were linked with Alonso was the main candidate, but Alonso rejected us. We then were linked with Amorim. But again, Amorim's very similar to Alonso, 3 at the back managers. And for Manchester United, with the players they had at their disposal, 3 at the back was never going to work. So you have to adapt. And the fact he couldn't adapt, that has alarm bells ringing for me. It does. But Amorim, I don't think is a bad manager. I feel if he'd come to Liverpool at the time, when he was linked to us, he might have done well. He may have done well. But for United, of course, was never the right guy. Slot and Amorim, are they similar? To an extent, maybe you can say that they don't work in the Prem, but Slot won a league title last year, which is mad to say. It's crazy to sit here and say in hindsight that he won a league and he's still not good enough to be a Premier League manager. You know what I'm saying? Imagine they knock you out. Look, don't rule it out. Don't rule Galatasaray knocking us out because they're not an easy team, especially when you go away from home. I've said it numerous times. It's not an easy tie. It's a good tie when you look at who else we could have drawn. But yeah, look, they'll make it hard for us. VAR is a joke, man. It is a joke, to be fair. It's a big joke. VAR is a problem. I don't think VAR is an issue, though. I think it's the people who run VAR that's the issue. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of other people say this as well. VAR is a good thing. But it's the people who are running it that clearly haven't got an idea. You have a rule, and then you don't stick with the rule. You know what I'm saying? It's like they make the rules up as they go along, which I don't like. So either you scrap VAR completely and go back to pre-1920 Premier League, so 18-19, where there was no VAR, or you bring in competent people who can actually work the VAR system properly. You could even bring in, you could just have it AI generated, I'll be honest. You could just do that, to be fair. You could just do that. Or you could just have machines doing the whole thing. It's a very easy fix with VAR. You know, or if you don't want to do that, bring in proper referees. You know what I'm saying? Bring in referees from other leagues. Because the refereeing isn't as bad as in the Liga as it is in the Prem. It isn't as bad in the Bundesliga as it is in the Prem. It isn't as bad as in other leagues. So bring in referees that are competent and know what they're doing. Because the refs here don't. They don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They'll give a red card for a stupid challenge. There's a challenge that you'll make and you won't get red carded for it when it should be a red card. You know what I'm saying? You get penalties given over time for soft behaviour. The refs are just clowns. They haven't got an idea what they're doing. Which is why I think you have to revamp the whole refereeing system, the whole VAR system. You start by removing refs, obviously. You bring in actual competent ones. Then you go about fixing VAR. But I agree, at the moment, it is a big joke. But Liverpool's last 4 games are right there, people. Boy, oh boy. So we played Manchester United away at Old Trafford. We played Chelsea at Anfield. Villa at Villa Park. And then Brentford at home. On paper, you look at it and think, okay, Brentford's an easy game. But even Brentford at home won't be easy. It won't be an easy game. It'll be tough for Liverpool to go there and manoeuvre their way through. I can't see my Liverpool that's good enough at the moment to go and win the FA Cup. Honestly, I don't mind if we lose to Wolves and put a fight for a Champions League spot. I hear you, Ramchan. I hear you, but I want a trophy. You know what I'm saying? I do want a trophy, and I feel like the FA Cup for us is probably more realistic to win than the Champions League is. United have dark fixtures. I haven't seen their fixtures. I thought that Chelsea's was the hardest, to be fair, but looking at those last 4 games, I mean, let's be honest, if Liverpool don't get their act together, if we don't start playing better football, if we don't start showing some sort of intent, what points are we going to get here? What points are we going to get from these games? United away. Look, United are in a good momentum. I say momentum. They're in a good moment at the moment. They're in a good moment. They're playing some decent football, and Michael Carrick's actually got them playing okay. Now, granted, by the time this game comes along, it could be a different story. They could have petered out a bit. They could have kind of lost their mojo and reverted back to type. But who knows? Either way, we're still going to be crap too. So what difference will that make? You play Chelsea at Anfield, okay. Chelsea at Anfield. It's a home game against Chelsea. Chelsea's record at Anfield is pretty crap anyway. But either way, I don't expect it to easy game. You play Villa at Villa Park. Haven't won at Villa Park for the last 2 seasons. Last season, the year before. That's a tough game. And who knows what Villa are going to be doing at that point? Will they be focusing on Europa? Will they be out of the Europa? Will they be focusing purely on top 5? Who knows? And then don't even rule out Brentford. Liverpool versus Brentford on the final day of the season. Don't even rule that out as being a tough game because it will be hard. But if Slot wins the FA Cup, he might be difficult to sack unless, unlike Ange at Spurs, even after winning Europa, got sacked. I think if he wins the FA Cup, he's gone. If he only wins the FA Cup, he's gone, Ramchen. Because we didn't spend... Look, the owners are going to look at it like this. I feel the owners will look at it from this angle. We spent 400 million in the summer. We didn't spend 400 million only to win the FA Cup. When we went into the season, we expected a league again. We expected number 21. We expected a Champions League. Well, a deep one in the Champions League and a deep one in both domestic cups. We didn't spend all that money only to win an FA Cup. So for me, it won't be enough. If he wins the Champions League, however, I think that will be enough for him to keep his job. If he wins the Champions League. But only if he wins that. FA Cup for me, nah. It won't be enough to save him. I don't want United in the UCL next season. Neither do I, United Tom Kid. Neither do I, bro. If you ask me who I want, Liverpool, Arsenal and City are going to be the top 2, so we'll forget about them. If you ask me who I want it to be Liverpool, Chelsea, and Villa. I don't want to see United back in the UCL. But they're going to get slapped up there next year if they do go back in there, so there's a plus. I think if United go for Anderson, we can go for Wharton. I think they'll go for Wharton probably. I'll be honest. They're going to need a midfielder anyway because my man Casemiro is leaving, so they're going to look into the market for a midfielder either way. But yeah, Spurs, you guys can look at maybe Wharton and Anderson as well. I need front line. Yeah. But yeah, people. Pardon me. Them last 4 games are brutal. Incredibly brutal. I don't trust us away at United. I'm sorry, I don't. The record at United anyway is poor. Man United always up their game against Liverpool. Since the 7-0 result, we haven't had a good record against them. We drew 0-0 against them. At Anfield, we drew 2-2 against them. Season before last. Last year, we did beat them 3-0 at the beginning of the season on the Ten Hag. But then when they came back on the Amrim at Anfield, they got a 2-2 draw. This season, they came Anfield and won 2-1. We don't have a good record against them, especially since the 7-0 battering. You know what I'm saying? It looks like they've done everything in their power whenever they play Liverpool to make sure that doesn't happen again. I think we've played the occasion a bit too much as well when we play them. And we don't play the game. But they're always up for it. And it's always a tough trip at Old Trafford. Klopp in his time at Old Trafford only won 2 games there, people. He only won 2 games there, Liverpool. 2 games there, Liverpool. He only won 2 games there. And one was in the COVID season when we won 4-2. The other was the 5-0. Other than that, Klopp didn't have much joy when he played at Old Trafford. Everton as well. Jurgen never got much wins at Goodison Park. 2 games that we traditionally struggle in away. And the Slot visit to Old Trafford, the first one we got a 3-0 win, but I expect that to continue because I don't expect United to make it easy for us. I don't. So that game, I'm not confident at all for that one at all. Klopp or Slot, Jurgen. Is that even a question? Jurgen every day of the week. I don't think Alonso is the right manager for Liverpool. Who do you think is the right manager for us tonight, Tonkin? As a rival fan, who do you think is the right manager for Liverpool? But I'm not confident for United away. If we get anything here, I'll be amazed because I think this is a nailed-on loss if I'm being real. And that's not because they're good, it's just because we're that bad. You know, if we were half decent, I'd trust us, but we're just that bad. So I don't trust us here. I'm not expecting anything from United away. Chelsea at home is a bit of a different story, purely because of the home advantage thing. At home against Chelsea, we normally do well. Um, their record at Anfield is terrible. You know, you talk about our record at Old Trafford and that. Chelsea's record at a lot of big grounds is terrible. They don't have a good record at the Etihad. They don't have a good record at Old Trafford. They don't have a good record at the Emirates. And they don't have a good record at Anfield either. The only big ground that they have a good record at is the Spurs ground out of everyone. But traditionally, away from home against the big six, Chelsea are dire. So that's the only reason I feel a little bit more confident for this game. However, we're all going to be in and around each other. United, Chelsea, Villa are all going to be in and around each other still by this point. I think the top five race goes to the wires personally. I think points will be very close. So we're all going to play each other at a time where everyone is still fighting for it, and there's a lot on the line. So us playing Chelsea at home in the reverse fixture, they beat us, to be fair. So can't really say much there. But at Anfield against Chelsea, I'd still be cautious, but I'd be more confident than I would against United. Put it that way. I'd be a lot more confident than I would be for Manchester United against Chelsea, because Manchester United is away, Chelsea's home. Enrique for Liverpool. Luis Enrique, not for me, man. Not for me. I would have taken him, but I've seen certain things about his behaviour in his personal life that I don't like. So for me, nah. I'm very much on the Xabi Alonso hype train. For me, Xabi Alonso is the one. He is the one. But yeah, Chelsea a bit more confident purely because we were at Anfield. If it wasn't at Anfield, I'd be shitting myself for this one too. But I'm a little bit more upbeat for this one. However, we can still drop points, let's be honest. And with the way we play, with the way they probably play better football than us at the moment. So that'll be an interesting one. And then Villa away. Villa is going to be an interesting one when this game comes on, because I don't know what situation Aston Villa are going to be in. Are they going to be in a position where they've completely binned the league off and they're going completely for the Europa League, all out to win that? Are they going to be in a position where they're out of the Europa League and they're focusing solely on qualifying in the top five? Or are they going to be in a position where they're taking both seriously? Have you noticed the noise at Anfield is no more as it was used to be? And the team suffers with this. You mean the atmosphere? You're trying to say the atmosphere is not as you're saying the atmosphere is not as not good as it used to be. I agree. The Anfield atmosphere isn't quite there, but I feel that's on the team as well. The team have to give the fans something to be excited about. On the club, we were always excited because of the football we played. But with the football we're playing, I can't really blame fans for not being excited. But I agree, the team thrives off the atmosphere at Anfield because we're an emotional club and an emotional team. So the fact that it's not there most of the time, it definitely doesn't help players. Pressing type manager. Enrique is not a pressing type manager, bro. Enrique is a possession-based coach. His teams revolve around what we do with the ball. He's not a pressing type coach. Big up Andre, bro. Appreciate you being in, man. Appreciate you being in, Andre. Ready for the summer. Already season's been a joke. Yeah, man. End the season. I'm just like, end the season. Let's get top five. Let's get a trophy. And let's reset in the summer, man. You make a couple of additions, get the new manager in, and let's see what we can do. But yeah, this season it's been the polar opposite to how I expected it to be. I can't be even asked to watch it. I mean, I've got to win, lose, or draw, but I always watch this, man. You know what I'm saying? But this season, I feel like it's become a chore to watch us. I'm like, if we win, cool. If we lose, cool. If we draw, cool. But it's become a chore. It's not as an enjoyment like it was last year and in years gone by. And I don't like to say that, but it is what it is. That's just how I feel. Yeah, the atmosphere. I don't see it. I don't see Enrique won't come to Liverpool, bro. I don't think he comes to Liverpool. The fans gave up on Slot as his team players. The fans given up on Slot for a while, bro. The fans were actually the first ones to turn on Slot. Were the proper fans. Let's forget about the idiots that we have. The proper fans have turned on Slot or have been against Slot since the Palace game, when we lost in the Cup to Palace, when he completely disrespected the Carabao Cup, played youngsters, and we got twatted 3-0. That's ever since then is when the fans have turned on Slot. We had that little resurgence against Villa and Madrid, but ultimately the fans have been shut out for a long, long time. I felt Nottingham Forest at home was a big turning point. I think that's when he lost a lot of people. And for me now, I became slot out after the PSV Eindhoven game. I've been on a slot out since then, and I haven't changed my tune. Even when we're winning games, I don't change my tune. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep it consistent. And the team have given up on him for a while, bro. The team looked like they stopped playing for him last season, but because we were so clear at the top of the league, no one really took notice of it. But yeah, the team have stopped playing for slot time ago. Time ago, I'm saying again, we don't thrive off this. The way he wants to play football, it's not going to work at Liverpool. We have a certain way of playing that's been ingrained into us. You know, it's been ingrained into us. Yo, big up BR, man. Big up yourself, BR, man. Appreciate you being in. Big up, brother. You know what? I realize we are all tough judging Salah. Remember, he's our true legend, our true leader, sorry. And he turned up against them. He turned up against Slot before 2026. Any new manager could come, we see Salah back. Potentially, these last 4 games, there's a chance we lose all, no joke. Yeah, man, there is a chance we lose all 4. Trust the process, you know. Trust the process. We'll have to see where it goes. We'll have to see where it goes, man. But for next 4 games on paper, let's have a look who we have next 4 games, man. These are our last 4. Those are dark games, man. Them last 4 games. But let's have a look. We have Wolves. Okay, Wolves, Galatasaray, Spurs, Galatasaray, Brighton. That's dark, man. Fucking dark. Dark as fuck. That is dark. Brighton away won't be easy. Fulham away won't be easy. Spurs, look, you can say what you want about Spurs, man, but we don't do well against relegation level sides who park it off and play low blocks. So I don't see that being an easy game. Gakpo is due 3 Rio. Yeah, man. 3 Rio, man. 3 Rio. But yeah, people, that's my little thoughts on the Wolves game. The Wolves game was a joke, let's be honest. It was a joke. With the team we had out on the pitch, we should still be going there and getting 3 points, and we were unable to do that. So yeah, we're in a dark position. A dark position. We had an opportunity as well with United playing Villa today. With Chelsea and Villa playing each other. There is a big opportunity for us to close the gap on United a bit, close the gap on Villa a bit, and go further clear of Chelsea. We bottled it. We got Newcastle. Yeah, I seen it, bro. Newcastle. I think that's away. That's gonna be It's gonna be an interesting game for sure. I'll say that it's gonna be a very interesting game. I think United will win, though. I can't lie. I hate saying United are gonna win, but I think the way they're playing at the moment, Newcastle have been dead this year. Let's be honest, they've been dead. So I see United winning that. I think you guys win, and I don't know if you go third or what, but we'll have to. Yeah, I see United winning. Unfortunately, they're. I'm not when it comes to top 5. I don't have no doubts about United because I think they're good enough to finish there. I think they're going to get it 1 game a week as well. That's going to help them out in a big time. So let's forget about United because they're going to get top 5. They're going to get it. They're probably going to finish third as well. So forget them. They're out of the equation. Villa and Chelsea are the teams that Liverpool need to look at because they're the ones that are inconsistent. Villa really falling off. Third. Yeah, man. United are third. It's talk. United are third. We're not a relegation team. Well, you are this season, Nighttime Kid. You're in 16th place. 17th, is it? One of the current holders of the Europa League. It doesn't mean nothing that you're the current holders of the Europa League. You know what I'm saying? You're still in a relegation battle regardless. Let's be totally real. But yeah, Villa are going to be inconsistent. Who knows if they're going to focus on Europa League? This guy said dark. It's dark, bro. You know, I'm used to being above United in the table, not below United. So, yeah, I've just stayed quiet with United. I've tried to just kind of just ignore the outside noise with it. But inside, I'm seething. I'm seething with how the season has gone. Top 3 managers you want? Are we talking realistic or unrealistic here? Because if I had to give my top 3 now, I'd say Xabi Alonso. I'd put I'd say Enrique, but after what some of the shit I've seen with him, I don't know. But let's put him in there hypothetically, Luis Enrique as well. And then third, I'd actually put Julian Nagelsmann there. I think Julian Nagelsmann would do well at Liverpool. I can't lie. I think he'd be a good appointment. So those would be my top three: Nagelsmann, Alonso, and Luis Enrique. But obviously, Alonso's the guy that a lot of us want. I think we can all agree there. Owen, Gerrard, Trent all got full game time at 17, 18. Why Slot thinks he's better than Klopp, Julia, etc. The guy has a fit. This comment's facts, bro. This is facts, bro. This is facts. Slot, whatever reason, he just doesn't like. He doesn't like the youth in it. He doesn't like the youth. You know what I'm saying? The difference here is Klopp could have a 16-year-old kid thinking that they could do bits. Let's be honest. Klopp could put a 16-year-old kid into the first team and have them balling out, thinking they're the best player in the world. He could. He genuinely could. With Bradley, he put him in against Chelsea and we won 4-1. Didn't have to do that. And look at Bradley today. I'm saying Slot can't do that. He can't have he's not a motivational guy. There's nothing about him. There's zero aura. He just can't do it. He just can't do it. Oh, man. Fucking Arnie Slot, you know. It's a joke that we're in this position, let's be honest. It's a joke. I'm fucking seething, man, inside. Best manager ever. Highline for life. And are you talking about Ange? Fucking hell. Ange. Ange would never fit at Liverpool, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? He would never fit. For me, Enrique all day. Go get that guy. It's with Enrique, you have to promise the guy a lot because he's a winner. He's a serial winner. He's a big name. He's gonna need to be promised a lot. And I'm still not sure on FSG. I don't know where their ambition is. I don't know what they think, how they see things. So that concerns me, I'll be honest. It concerns me. Enrique would want promises that he's going to have a certain amount of money and he's going to be able to build a winning side because he won't come any other way. At PSG, he's got limited funds. He can dip into the market whenever. With Liverpool, with the way our owners are, would he be able to do that? Let's be honest. I don't think so. Steven Gerrard for now till the end of the season. As interim, Steven Gerrard, look, when you look at what Carrick's done at United, I'll use them as an example. Look at what Michael Carrick has done at Manchester United in the short time he's been there. He's turned them from being the team that were, which is mad because they weren't actually doing too bad under Ruben Amorim. The league position was all right. But he's turned them from a team that, look, they weren't liking the old manager to a team that's actually playing for an interim. Him being a player himself, an ex-player, worn the shirt, knows what it means to represent the club. Naturally, he walks into that dressing room. The likes of Bruno, the likes of Casemiro, all their players respect him. Steven Gerrard, respectfully, is a bigger legend than Michael Carrick in the game. He's a big legend for Liverpool. We know Steven Gerrard is who he is. Naturally, if Steven Gerrard walks into that Liverpool dressing room, he will have the respect of Alisson Becker, the respect of Virgil van Dijk, the respect of Mohamed Salah, the respect of Andrew Robertson. He will have the respect of all of our senior players because he's a legend for that club. You know what I'm saying? He knows what it takes to represent the club. He knows what it takes to wear that badge on his heart because he's represented the club. And that can make up for not being good tactically. All you have to be as an interim, let's be honest, an interim manager doesn't have to be a Pep or a Klopp when it comes to being tactically good. He just has to be a good motivational speaker. Just be a good motivational speaker and you can have a team balling out, which is what I think Michael Carrick has United doing. So I agree, Ramton. You bring in Gerrard, we probably get top 5 because the players would start playing again. I would take Slot at Spurs. You can have him, bro. You can have him. It's mad because Night Tompkin, I'm sure that you were linked with Slot before he became, before you got Ange. I think you guys were very interested in Slot and he rejected you guys. I would take Slot and top 5. You've got to get back into the top 10 first, bro. You can't be talking about top 5. You've got to get back into the top 10 first. Big up to you on Night Tompkin. But yeah, guys, the game yesterday was a complete disaster. Liverpool were too slow moving the ball. Second half was a bit better at times. It was a bit better. First 15 minutes of the second half was good. However, after that, it petered out and it it got very, very poor again very quickly. But pardon me. As for Wolves, like I said, they sat in a low block. They did their thing, and they got the 3 points. So fair play to them. But we were bad. I think Ekatike was poor. Ekatike, has he been a bit poor in the second half of the season? I don't think so. I just feel like he's having a bit of a dip at the moment. And for once, I actually do feel like we're missing Isak as well, because this is a chance where you could rotate, but we can't for now. Salah was poor. Look, Mohamed Salah scored a goal yesterday, but he still had a very poor overall game, in my opinion. I'm going to be honest. However, he scored, so that takes some sign. Well, that takes some criticism off of him. Let's be honest. Van Dijk and Kanate for the first goal were very, very poor. Van Dijk misses the header. Kanate is completely out of position. He leaves that whole side exposed for a Wolves player to come in. So they defensively they were very poor, both of them, for that first goal. We get a lifeline. Our goal was literally came from a Wolves player making a mistake, and then at the end of the game, shot deflects off Gomez, goes in. I can't argue against anything other than saying Wolves deserved the 3 points and Liverpool were pathetic. So weak mentally, it's crazy. When I've seen Liverpool actually be strong mentally in years gone by, this team is pathetic compared to that. That is my point. Every player is going to respect him. Gerrard, they have to perform because you have the man talking to you. You have Steven Gerrard, arguably Liverpool's greatest ever legend, depending on what you think and who you prefer. But he's arguably Liverpool's greatest ever legend. You have to perform when you're playing for him. Let's be honest. And you're wearing the Liverpool shirt. Van Dijk, Salah, and them are all legends, but Gerrard is also a legend. And he was before them. He was before their time. So naturally, every single player, even the youngsters, are going to look at him and respect him. They're going to. So I agree, Ramchan. They're starting to. But Chelsea are starting Garnacho. Oh wow, wow. Chelsea starting Garnacho. That's mad. Need words back. We do need words back here. I'm hoping he's back for the Spurs game, but we'll see where it goes. But Katiki has been poor second half of the season. Well, that's not on him, though, let's be honest. He's been playing non-stop. He's literally been running to the ground because there's no Isak available. If Isak was available, you can rotate. But because Ekatike is having to play week in, week out because Isak's not available, naturally he's going to dip off, let's be honest. Naturally he's going to dip off and get tired. Yesterday we could see no game plan, just ran the ball around, hoping for. Yeah, pathetic, bro. Zero style of play, zero game plan. And again, it's like, what happened? Why did we change all of a sudden? What happened? What we did against West Ham completely disappeared for this game. Against West Ham, we played some decent football, scored 5 goals, and for this game, we reverted back to type. What do you think of Gravenberch this season? He's not had a good year. Andre, I've got to be honest, he's not had a good year. I felt last year in the 6 he looked very good, and it kind of felt for a bit we didn't need a DM. But I feel this year's proved that Gravenberch isn't going to be the guy for the 6. We need someone else there, proper 6. He did bits there last year, but in the long term, he needs to be playing as an 8. He needs to be playing in the midfield, further up the pitch, not as the 6, in my opinion. We need an actual 6. Which again, we didn't replace Fabinho. We still haven't. Can you guys hear me now? I should be back now. Apologies for that. We were doing so well as well. Like, we were actually doing so well, and then the sound just cuts out again. Um, Apologies, people. Hope you guys can hear me now, though. Um, Whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to be on for much longer anyway. Another 10, 15 minutes max. But yeah, what I was saying was I'd rather play a kid from the academy over Garnacho because that guy is terrible. He's absolutely terrible. And again, cheers, Nighttime Kid, bro. Why did Chelsea sign him? Thank you, Ramchan. Why did Chelsea sign that guy? Makes zero sense to me. You sign a player from Manchester United who isn't good enough to make it at Manchester United, by the way. Why would you be good enough at Chelsea? Makes zero sense to me. Neto's on a red. Yeah, bro. You told me Neto's on a red, so again, Chelsea could have done with him tonight. It's going to be a big game for Chelsea. It's going to be a very big game. And you know what? While we're here, we may as well look at the weekend's fixtures. Not the weekend's fixtures, the fixtures for tonight's games. Premier League. You just share the screen. We'll talk about tonight's games. I'll give you guys my predictions as well for the games too. But yeah, man. Big up to every single one of you locked in still. 4-match schedule. So tonight's games we have. Who have we got? So we've got Brighton versus Arsenal. We've got Forest versus City, Fulham, West Ham, Chelsea, Villa, and Newcastle versus United. Okay, so if I give you guys my quick predictions here, Brighton versus Arsenal. That won't be an easy game for Arsenal. I'll say that for sure. Brighton are a team that actually like to play. They play some decent football at times, but they're also a team who are very easy to play against. You know, if you're Liverpool, if you're United, if you're Chelsea, and you have the attack, well, I say not Chelsea, really, Arsenal, City. If you have good attackers or world-class attackers, should I say, Brighton love playing out from the back. They love playing out from the back. And again, you pinch the ball off them up high, you be clinical. They're very easy to play against. That's why you see them get slapped up a lot. I think that's why you see Brighton get slapped up a lot, because they're very stubborn in the way they're playing. You know, in the way they play, sorry. You know, when you go to a big six club, you should probably adapt. You know what I'm saying? You want to play good football around teams that are in and around you. So Brighton should be doing that against a Bournemouth or a Palace, because those are teams that are in and around them. You know what I'm saying? When you go to an Arsenal away, a Liverpool away, a City away, you know, a Chelsea away, you can't be playing you can't be playing you can't be playing expansive football, because you will get ripped apart. You'll get ripped apart. Let's just keep it honest. And Brighton, they don't seem to realise that, because they do it a lot. They do it a lot. So for that reason alone, I know Brighton have a home team in this game, so they have the home advantage down by the coast at the Amex. However, Arsenal's ability from set pieces and everything, I think they'll win. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I expect that Brighton will probably play the better football in the game, but I think Arsenal will get the 3 points. They have to. City are breathing right down their necks, people. City are right down Arsenal necks currently. They're right down there. So I think for that reason, Arsenal know they need to win. And this is a game that they can't afford to drop points in, to keep it quite honest. So I think for Brighton Arsenal, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Arsenal win. Arsenal have been conceding goals recently, so I think they'll concede again. But I'm going to go with an Arsenal win. City Forest again, that should be a straightforward win for City. You know, if City really want this league now, it's in their hands. They've got to be consistent and win as much as they can. Forest away from home, look, they're going to make it hard. I don't think this will be a battering. Forest are in a relegation battle. They're dogged. They're going to make it very hard for City. But I expect City to win. I'm going to go with a 2-1 City win for that one. I think Forest might even go 1-0 up. But I think City score late and they win. But I think it'll be a performance Forest can be proud of. But if Forest gets something from the game, don't be surprised. Must-win game for Villa, 100%. They've got to win. Carlos Baleba, also not a bad DM for Liverpool. Potentially someone we could look at. belabor a good match equals Arsenal no win. Yes, indeed. If we don't make UCL next season, it's going to be get ugly. Profit players might start winning out. Financial issues. Yes, Andre. I think if we don't get UCL, it's a problem because players are going to want out. But on top of that, Andre, I think if Slot is still here, that's also going to want players make players want to get out. Let's be honest. If Slot is still here, I can't imagine the likes of Virgin and Salah are going to stick around. Word TK, these lot are going to start having their heads turned because they know they're playing for a manager who is incompetent and not good enough. So not getting UCL will be a big issue. I agree. Brighton quite attacking lineup 4-3-3, 5 attacking players. I'm not surprised. Brighton are a team that like to play good football. So we'll see how it goes. So the least exciting game of the evening, Fulham versus West Ham. I think for this one again, West Ham need the points. They're in a relegation battle themselves. We beat West Ham by 5 goals and we're crap. Fulham are a relatively decent side. So I think for this one, I think Fulham win. I'll go with a Fulham winning that one. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham get something out of this one. But I'm going to back Fulham to win. Then the two big ones of the night, you have Villa versus Chelsea and you have Newcastle versus Man United. Villa Chelsea is going to be very interesting. Two of the top 5 rivals facing off against each other. Villa with the home advantage. Chelsea coming off the back of the loss against Arsenal. Whoever loses this one is in a bad position. Chelsea lose this, they're falling further and further behind. We've got a gap on them. United and Chelsea have got United and Villa have got a gap on them currently. So it's a must-win game for Chelsea. And it's also a must-win for Villa as well because Villa are slipping down the table. They've lost third now. They're very quickly falling off. So that's going to be a big, interesting game. And I hate how this is on these. I wanted to watch both these games ideally, but I can only watch one by the looks of it. I do think Chelsea Villa will be the more interesting one though. I think Chelsea are going to win, people. I can't lie. I think Chelsea are going to win this one. I back Chelsea to get the 3 points. I think Villa they're not in a good moment at the moment. They're struggling. Chelsea aren't great either, let's be honest. Their new manager bounces faded recently. But I think for this one, I think Chelsea get the 3 points. I think they get the 3 points. So I'm going to go with the Chelsea win there. Although don't be surprised if Villa gets someone. Newcastle versus Manchester United. Away at St. James's Park is never easy. No matter who you are. No matter how bad Newcastle are in the season. No matter how bad Newcastle are in the season, going away to St. James's Park is always tough. Only 2. They beat City there. They drew against Spurs. They drew against Chelsea. So they're still a good team at home. But United are on a roll at the moment, and the Carrick they're on a good roll, and I feel like that good roll is going to continue for a bit longer. So I can see United winning this one, especially with the form that Newcastle are in. Although I don't think it'll be easy at St James's Park, the Geordies will make it hard. But I think feel United get a 2-1 win. I think United get a 2-1 win there. So I'm going to go with a United win there. And then Spurs Palace tomorrow. So this one's the Thursday night game. A Thursday night game. This will be interesting. It should be very interesting. Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. Look, Spurs are in trouble. Nighttime kid. Yeah, you think we're going to beat? You think we're going to beat Palace? Apologies, people. My laptop's played up a bit. I don't know, guys. I'm going to go with a in this Spurs Palace game, I think this is now on to be a draw. Palace haven't been great recently. They lost to United at the weekend. Now going to Spurs away. Look, Spurs are in trouble. Let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not make excuses. They're in trouble. They're sat 16th, and them, West Ham, and Forest are all locked in this relegation battle. Whoever finishes 18th is going to be out of these three. Tottenham need the points. Their new manager's come in, and he's done nothing. Got slapped at home to Arsenal. Lost to Fulham away at the weekend. I can't lie. I think if they lose to Palace, I think they might just end up sacking the new coach. I genuinely think that. So Spurs need 3 points against the Palace side, who have become depleted. Their season started off well. They've fallen off though since then. I'm gonna go with the Palace win. I can't lie. I think Palace will win. I'm gonna go with the 2-1 Palace win. Sorry, Nighttime Kid. Nothing against you, anything, but I just feel like Spurs are in a bad situation right now, and I don't see it getting better for them. Late night matches at Villa Park and St James's Park. It's a great atmosphere, 100%. Especially St James's Park. You know, on a European night, it's a very good atmosphere. Up there with the best, in my opinion. I don't want Spurs to be relegated. Come on, Spurs. I mean, look. Do I want them to? I don't really care, to be fair, because I'm not a rival. If they go, they go. If they stay, they stay. But yeah, it would be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing them stay up. London Derby, Spurs win. They need to win. Ramchen, Tottenham need to win this game. They're in big trouble. They should not be in a relegation battle. That's 2 years in a row. Tottenham have been in a relegation battle. So this time around, they need to survive, and they can't let a season like this happen again. 2 years in a row, they've been in this position. I'm saying they can't let it happen again. 2-0 Spurs, Nighttime Kids going with. Palace going to rotate, and their main centre backs on the red. Johnson is a scrub. So the Palace aren't going to rotate for this game. They're not playing Conference League. If they were playing Conference League, they would have rotated, but they won't rotate. They rotated against United, I think. But against you, I don't see them rotating. I'll be honest. Johnson is a scrub. So Johnson's going back to Tottenham for this game. But yeah, I think Palace win, and I think Spurs probably end up sacking their interim coach and getting another new one in, which is crazy. So yeah, the games that I've gone with, I've gone with an Arsenal win, I've gone with a City win, Fulham win, Chelsea win, United win, and I've gone with a Palace win. That's what I think will happen tonight. But the games, obviously tonight, the games are a lot better than they were yesterday. Yesterday only we played. All the other big 6 clubs are playing tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. I think the Chelsea game literally kicks off in 2 minutes, if I'm correct. It's 7:28 currently. So yeah, people, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna head off. I'm hoping Liverpool can get back to winning ways on Friday in the cup. I'm hoping we can get back to winning ways in the league against Tottenham the weekend after next. But we'll see how it goes. We've got to pick up. We've got to just go again, I suppose. Go again, regroup, and see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna go catch the games for tonight. I'm excited to see how it goes on. Going to be a big night for the Champions League places, for the top 5 race and all that. So yeah, man, big up to every single one in here. It's been a great live again, as always. Big up to Nighttime Kid. Do a roll call before I go. Big up to Ramchern. Big up to Andre. Who else was in here? Big up to my brother BR, man. Appreciate you being in. Big up BR. Who else was in here? Big up to Danchum. Big up Danchum. Big up Rasta Stocks. My brother Rasta. Make sure you sub to Rasta, man. Another one of the fellas with the realist. And big up to Waha as well. Big up to every single person in the chat. Bad result for Liverpool. Newcastle win. And Villa win. Good night. Yeah, man. I'm hoping everything will work out for us today. But who knows what will happen, right? Who knows what will happen. But big up to every single one of you in the chat. Liverpool lost yesterday. It's bad. It hurts. It sucks. But let's go again. I'm saying let's try and have a strong end to the season. and let's try and come back again and reclaim our title next year. But for now, people, I'll speak to you guys very soon. Technical issues weren't too bad today. Only lagged out sound wise. Only lagged out once, so it's better because it happened about 4 or 5 times yesterday. So there's an improvement. There's some progress. But big up to every single person in the chat. Big up to every single one of you. I will speak to you guys tomorrow. Be back with a daily live tomorrow. Match preview will be dropping as well for the Wolves game, the FA Cup game against Wolves. So score prediction, predicted 11. Big up Indian Scouser, bro. Big up to Indian Scouser. I hope you are well. Still fuming from last night. Say the same, bro. I'm still fuming as well. But yeah, come on, Villa and Newcastle, 100%, man. Come on, man. Come on to both of them. But yeah, man, I was just wrapping up, bro. But I appreciate you coming in, man. Make sure you sub to my brother Indian Scouser, legend himself as well. But yeah, no technical issues today. Well, not much, so we'll take that as progress. And yeah, man, I'll speak to you guys all very, very soon. Well, Villa and Chelsea can draw too. Yeah, they can indeed. No problem, brother. No problem, man. No problem helping out one of the brothers. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. But yeah, match preview for the Wolves FA Cup game coming out tomorrow. I'll go live as well, discussing it a bit. And then on Friday, of course, I'll be back with a watch along for the Wolves game too. Hopefully, we don't have no technical issues because that's going to be well over a 2-hour stream. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. Speak to you all soon. Catch you in a bit. Peace.